Let's take a moment to talk about Gen Z movies, the modern cinema. See, I'm an avid fan of movies. I grew up with a wall filled with movies, just a wall of DVDs. Think a small section of Bell's library, like to the point that we literally had to climb up on shelves to reach the movies at the top, which we were not supposed to be reaching the movies at the top if we had to climb the shelf because those were all the scary movies and rated R movies. My parents organized it in a matter of if you can reach it, you can watch it. So, but big movie fan, right? Right. Okay. So, over the years of watching like a lot of films, you kind of pick up on some patterns. There are some things that you understand. And in watching modern movies, I see a lot of these patterns breaking. And I don't know if it's in a good way. You see, we are dealing with an issue, and I know people are tired of saying it, but it's real. A matter of the attention spans, not just of the youth, but of people in general. And the not just literacy crisis, but the intelligence crisis. This is the first generation in recorded history that has a lower IQ score than its predecessor. Since the beginning of time, the next generation has always been more intelligent than this previous generation, and that is intentional. We want us to get better, but this is the first time that it's not. And I'm Gen Z. Hey, I'm at the very tip of Gen Z. I was born in 1997. So when Generation Z started, I was born. So I was raised with like millennials because I am the youngest child in my family. So I got to have this like seat right in the middle. Like I teach Gen Z. I'm scared when Gen Alpha comes. So yeah, I have the seat like right in the middle where I got to live both lives and see both worlds. And I'm not going to lie to you, it is a little scary. So the concept with modern cinema is this idea that we have to keep their attention. It's the rattler effect. So I'm going to keep on putting these little things in front of your face to make sure that I have your attention, right? Right? So, yes, there's going to be funny little jokes. There's going to be explosions. There's going to be fights. There's going to be these things that shock you. And a lot of it's unnecessary. A lot of it takes up a lot of screen time while the substance of the movie is laid back. You can feel the differences, even in movies of the same franchise. When I watch the very first Avatar movie, Blue People, not Airbender, when I watched the very first Avatar movie, there was an emotional connection, a dang near spiritual connection, from the way that the story was being told, from the way that things were being shot, from the time that they took for us to get to know the characters, their world, and why this is important. Versus like the last Avatar movie that I watched, The Way of Fire or something Fire, Ash and Fire. I did enjoy Way of Water, but like Ash and Fire, I felt like it was rinse, repeat, recycle, but take out anything that gave me an emotional connection. I didn't feel much for anyone in Ash and Fire. And I feel like I didn't have time to feel for anyone. Things that makes a movie like Avatar good is the way that it humanizes other. And when we met the other clan, the Fire Clan, we didn't get an opportunity for them to be humanized. We just got fire, explosions, weapons, guns, drama, scandal. Oh my goodness. And it would seem like every other scene there was something significant happening, but I didn't connect with any of it. I was waiting, so very much so waiting for this like spiritual connection, the spiritual reveal of what was going on with one of the girls that Sully adopted as her daughter. But even that, this extremely spiritual thing that was being built up for two movies felt like it was just a, oh hey, here this happens, moving on. In order to keep up with the like shortening attention spans, movies are just throwing a bunch of things at you and just not allowing you to sit with anything. And yes, we get these things of shock value, but we get shock value because we lack setup. I see this in a lot of the like action movies and suspense movies, where a movie would become suspenseful because, sorry, at the very beginning of the movie, there will be something that would just make us uneasy. And we would just have that hanging over us the entire time. And the whole time, we're just waiting for the ball to drop. Modern movies give us like 50 balls and they just like keep dropping them. And we're just like, what's the point? What's the point? The reason I talk about this is because there's something that people in the business of storytelling are not understanding about teenagers, about Gen Z. And although this may not apply to Gen Alpha yet, because I don't spend a lot of time with them, I don't know too much about them, but there's something that they're missing and that they don't understand. Everyone thinks that stories need to be dumbed down. And we see this in novels too. That things have to constantly be happening, that you need to hold on to their attention with action, 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 action. But word of the year, overstimulation is a real thing. I learned about multitask films. When a film is being made for a streaming service, take Netflix for example, they are not promoting, but pitching to the writers to make it multitaskable. Do not put out a movie in which someone has to watch the entire film from start to finish in order for them to keep up with the movie or the TV show. They should be able to get on their phone, get up, go wash the dishes, have a conversation, and still be able to keep up. And this takes away the challenge and the artistry, really, of film. And what people don't understand about teenagers is that they actually crave this, whether they want to admit it or not. But these quiet moments that have these like singular focus, where there's not a lot going on, because yes, that stuff is like entertaining. My demographic that I teach for loves them some baddies. But when you give them the opportunity to sit down and read a play like Fences and actually like be fully immersed in it and watch the movie afterwards, they love that too. It's a chance to like slow down and put pieces together yourself and put the pieces together yourself is something that they still feel rewarded for. It's still a payoff. And it's not just about, you know, dangling the rattle in front of the baby. It's about letting the art breathe and letting the audience take part in it. The audience wants to be a part of the story just like anything else, just like anyone else. And a lot of modern movies, TV shows, and books are stealing that opportunity away from them. To think that, like, I had this conversation with students before where they was talk about them having like a really busy day, they're overstimulated, they're really stressed out, they want to go home and they want to relax. What do they relax with? Baddies. So you're relaxing with drama, physical violence, quick camera shots, and just ongoing shenanigans. Your brain doesn't get an opportunity to relax. You're not relaxing. And you think what you want is brain off activity, but really what you're looking for is a way to be stimulated in a different manner. And we're not stimulating minds. You're hearing it more and more in the writing community where readers and other writers are begging people, trust the reader, trust the audience. If you get it, you get it. Someone who was just reading Blue Lights was looking into Black Lights, the second book, and was like, I can already tell that this is about to be filled with like foreshadowing because you did that quite a bit in Blue Lights. Like, I didn't realize that you were foreshadowing until it happened, but you did it. That's the payoff that I personally love as a writer. When I can leave these little Easter eggs for you and you can pick up the pieces and put it together and then get the whole picture and be like, oh, that's why he said that. That's why he did that. And the readers enjoy it too. So as a writer, don't just give them everything at once. Allow for build up to happen. Setups. Like, set it up. I know people were talking about, like, I've been watching a lot of thrillers lately because I feel like other movies just haven't been hitting the mark because of this like rush job that films have been doing. So, Weapons. When everyone watched Weapons and was talking about Weapons and how great that was, I was kind of, and I do think it was a great movie. I actually did enjoy the movie. I was caught up though on the matter of, why did you give us the answer? And you gave us the answer so soon. I like not knowing. I like speculating. I like being able to leave the movie theater and sit down with the person I just watched that movie with and have an hour-long chat over some cold French fries and a milkshake about what just went down. And no, I think this. I think this. You think that? Well, if you think that, then maybe this is that. Let us speculate. Let us create these theories. I know theories channels are like struggling right now, and they really are just turning into commentary channels. I watch a lot of theory channels. And I see this. They're turning into commentary channels because there's nothing to make a theory about. Because you gave us everything. Trust the reader. Break it down. Have build up, set up. And like we see it, and we just have to give them the opportunity to rise to the occasion of putting these pieces together themselves, instead of just assuming that they're not going to get it and giving it to them anyways. I'm going to talk about the Hunger Games for a second, but before I get into that, I'm going to talk about a movie that I enjoy. It is a very old movie, not a very old movie, but it's an older movie. Um, Bicentennial Man. And this movie is an extremely slow paced movie. And it's not a lot going on. Now, my partner is the kind of person who, if they are not interested in something, they are not interested in something. Oftentimes, when watching movies, they are on their phone, or if I put on a movie and they are not interested in it, then they'll put on headphones and go be on their phone or go to another room or something like that. They're not the biggest film person. But I plopped in this DVD and was watching Bicentennial Man. This extremely slow paced movie that just like takes moments to pan upon driftwood on the beach and slow moments of just like walking and watching this family grow. And they had put their phone down and they were watching. This is someone who usually only watches like things that belong to franchises that they already enjoy or like action movies. But they put their phone down. They started actively watching the movie. I was hungry, so I ordered a pizza. And I was like, "Oh, hey, can you go pick up the pizza?" And they were like stalling at the door and was like, "Oh, are you going to tell me what happened when I get back?" And it hit me like they are really into this movie right now. I struggled to get this person into movies. So I'm like, I can pause the movie while you go get the pizza and then come back and I'll play the movie again. It's fine. But this is someone who like lives for the overstimulation and is extremely picky, but when presented with a film that is slow and emerging, they actually slowed down themselves enough to take part in this film from start to finish. So I strongly believe that if you give people the chance to fall for these forms of art, then they'll be there, they'll be behind it. But right now, what we're doing is we're stripping away the opportunity. We're handicapping their ability to be immersive viewers. What I was going to talk about with the Hunger Games was this matter of like how the Hunger Game books are still coming out, and we are still getting pieces, minuscule pieces of the whole picture. We may never get a whole picture, but for those who read the books, there's like these little moments of payoff that we get, like tracking the Mockingjay pen and where the Mockingjay came from, what it means, what it symbolizes, and how it traveled from person to person and how it ended up on the jacket of Katniss Everdeen in the 74th Hunger Games. We see it for the first time in Haymitch's book, Sunrise on the Reaping, right? Yeah, Sunrise on the Reaping is on my bookshelf. Um, and we see how it becomes this like heirloom of District 12. In the Hunger Games, it's not the same in the movie, but we see it pass from the mayor's daughter to Katniss, and we see how the mayor's family was actually friends through Haymitch's story. We see how her family connected with Katniss's mother before everything went down. So we as the readers can make these connections ourselves if writers, filmmakers, screenwriters give us the opportunity to do it. I think that's all. Yeah. But the teenagers, although they are not doing well, they're not doing as bad as you think. And it's not that they crave more, 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 more. It's not that they want to be these attention deprived people. But we are adapting our media to this idea of what we think they are instead of giving them an opportunity to grow into the people that they want to be. So just keep that in your inner monologue. And I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you will be too.